Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Charlene. So I'm really sorry for the background and the weird lighting. I filmed a video earlier today and by mistake I deleted the intro, so I had to do it again, and it's like 4 hours later. It's dark outside, so I'm trying to do with what I have. So today's video is going to be about the green card lottery, because some of you know I got my green card through the green card lottery, and I know it's just impossible like I thought at first. And I just wanted to share with you guys my experience, the process, what you're asked to do, and all of this, because I know I got a lot of questions about it, and I know that when I was in the process of doing all this, I knew that I would have loved to have a video like this explaining pretty much everything that you have to do, and just the experience and the process in general. So I am in my baby's room because this is the only background that was looking pretty decent, and I had better light earlier today. So yeah, let's get started. Alright, so I have my little list here of things that I want to talk about, and then I have my computer with the official papers that I got. So the first thing is, it takes way longer than I thought it was going to be. So I applied in 2016 November. I got the results that I was selected in May 2017. I got my interview at the embassy in 2018 January, and I left in June 2018. So almost 2 years after applying. So it takes way longer than I thought. That's something I really want to talk to you about. So the first thing that you are going to do when you want to register, pretty much they're going to ask you for your basic information: name, date of birth, gender, where you live. This is just like a simple like form to fill in that you're going to have to just put your information, submit it, and then you have to wait until May or June the coming year to see if you get the results. So now, when you get the results, I actually have a PDF form right here of the exact thing that it says if you're selected or not. So the first thing is, if you're not selected, it's just going to tell you something like, we're sorry, but you're not going to be part of the process, or something like this. For me, I'm not going to show you my address, but it's like a really long thing like this. I'm just going to give you the exact words so it's easier. It says, dear whatever your name is, you have been randomly selected for further processing in the Diversity Immigrant Visa Program for the fiscal year 2018, which is the year I left. Then it says, selection does not guarantee that you will receive a visa because the number of applicants selected is greater than the number of visas available. And then it just gives you like the website that you have to go on to do the rest of the paperwork. So once you have that email, I mean, it's not an email, you just have to log back in the same login that you used when you applied the first time, and it's going to give you a number. So that number is the most important thing ever. Alright, so the number that they give you, so for example for me, it's actually cold case number. So you're gonna have the year, the fiscal year that you will technically move to the US if you get the green card, and then they give you, for me was EU, so because it was Europe, and then it gives you a number, which mine was 6,954 to be super precise. This number is really important because it's going to give you an idea of when you're going to have your interview at the embassy. Alright you guys, I am so sorry my camera just turned off because I didn't have enough room on the SD card, but I'm back and I fixed the lighting. It is so much better now. So I was saying that this number is really important because it's going to give you an idea of when you're going to have your interview at the embassy. So the lower the number, the earlier the appointment, if that makes sense. And then they say something that is really important to have a lower number, because like they say here, is that selection does not guarantee that you will receive a visa because of the number of applicants selected is greater than the number of visa available. So they select a bunch of people, and they only have a certain amount of green cards. So if, for example, your number is, I don't know, 90,000, and by then all the green cards are already given out, then you will never even have the chance to get an interview, if that makes sense. So this is why this number is really important. Also, something I wanted to mention is that when you first apply, you do not have to pay. I know I have a lot of friends, a lot of family friends that keep thinking that if you pay on the website, that means it's legit. It is not. If you have to pay, it's a scam. Just change website, go on another website, and the actual website is the DV Diversity Visa Lottery. It's the government website, so you do not have to pay to apply. You have a bunch of money to spend later on with all the process, but when you want to apply and you get selected or not, you do not pay. All right, so once you're you applied at the end of the year, the coming year in May or June, you get the results. If you are selected, you check the number to make sure that your number is low, but even if it's a high number, you still have chances. You would just have an interview at the embassy later. But the first step after that is going to fill in the form called, I'm sorry, I have it right here. It's called the DS-260. This form to fill in takes forever. I'm going to be honest, it asks every single detail of you and your life. So it's going to start by like the basic stuff, like they ask you when you applied. So name, address, all this kind of stuff. So like I said, I was still in the US, so they ask you where you are now. I said I was in the US, but I'm European because I had a French passport, so I said that I would apply for Europe pretty much. So then they ask you all the jobs you had with the address, the numbers, all of this. They ask for a picture. They ask for a bunch of stuff. You need to make sure everything is correct, and also if you are married or you have kids, you have to make sure that you mention all of the people at that time as well. Because if, for example, you have 3 kids and you only say that you have 2, then it's going to be a big problem, and everything's going to be denied. So I was lucky, I was alone, so I did not have to worry about all of this extra paperwork. But this is the first step. Once you file that form, they know that you're ready for the next step, and then the next step is just literally waiting to get the email saying that you have the interview at the embassy, which is not going to be until at least September, because the interview starts from September to... All right, so like I said, you have to start gathering the paperwork if you can, because some of the paperworks only need to be like 3 months in advance or something like this, not more. So you kind of have to wait until your appointment is scheduled. So when you go on the website that they give you at first, when you're selected, you're going to have to choose which embassy you're going to. So when you choose which embassy you're going to, it's going to open up a paperwork. So I'm going to give you all the information I have here for Paris. So they tell you the first thing to do is to register your appointment online. I don't remember doing this, I'm going to be honest, absolutely not remember registering online, but they send you an email anyway to let you know, because when you go on the website, you check, I was checking like every 2 weeks if my number was part of the numbers that were going to be called, and they pop up for January. I don't remember registering online, but once this is done, you have a few things that are important, is that you absolutely need some medical exam. So by that, I mean that you have 3 things to be done. These things need to be done as close as possible to your interview at the embassy. So what I did was, once I knew the exact date and time of my interview, I was able to schedule those. Since I live in the south of France, I had my dad come with me for a whole week in Paris, little fun trip, and we booked those appointments maybe 4 or 5 days before the actual interview at the embassy. So I had all the medical exams that were super recent and super accurate. So to do the medical exam, you have only selected places. You cannot go to your doctor, you cannot go to whoever you think you want to go to. You have the name and the number, and you have to call these numbers and book with them or on their website. You cannot choose who you're going to. So the medical exam is, the first one is you have to get a urine sample. I don't even remember what it is for, but you're gonna get a urine sample and they're gonna send the results directly to the embassy. That's why it's better to do it pretty close to the interview. Then you have to do a chest x-ray. This same thing. They're all pretty much in the same area in Paris anyway, but you have to go to this specific place. You cannot do anywhere else. And then you have a medical exam, which is you go to a doctor that is kind of sponsored by the embassy, and if you go for the green card lottery, you have certain papers that you have to bring them. They will just do a checkup, and then they will give you the paperwork, and this paperwork you cannot open it. It's only for the embassy. So I have the checklist right here. So what you need to bring to the medical exam, you need to get your visa interview appointment letter, which you're going to receive a paper anyway. You're going to get an email anyway, so you just print that out. You need your passport. You need a recent passport size color photograph, like they call, so just a 2x2 picture. You need to bring some for the interview at the embassy anyway, so I just did like 10-ish, and then I just went with them, and that was it. And then you need a copy of your immunization record. So in France, we have kind of like a health book. I don't know. So when you're born in France, they give you this little book where every single time you get sick, you go to the hospital, you go to the doctor, you get a shot, anything, everything is put, stamped, and you have it on there. So what I did is that I just brought this to prove that I had all the immunization records that they needed since I was born. So that was the proof that since I was born, all the basic like shots, I had them pretty much. And then you need a completed medical questionnaire. I do not remember what that paper was, but I think you just have to make to bring it. They just ask you for like informations, and you just fill it up and bring it there. It's just to make sure that you are okay, or that you're not going to be sick when you're there, when you move to the US. So here pretty much it tells you that to get the medical appointment, it's 224 euros. So that's one thing you have to pay here. And for the x-ray and blood test, you have to pay $300. So I do remember that actually. You have to go to these doctors, like I said, but of course it's not covered. Nothing is covered. You're gonna have to pay from your pocket. So the x-ray is $300. You have to pay when you get the urine sample, but it's not even that big of a deal. And then when you go to the doctors, it's $224. So that's at least $500 to $600 in just medical stuff. So once you get your exam, like medical exam scheduled, this is just to let you know what is gonna happen. But once you get that scheduled, you can actually start getting all the paperwork done for the embassy. So the basic paperwork that they ask for, it's that little checklist right here for the Paris US embassy. If you guys want it, just go on my Instagram, DM me, or just send me a comment and I will send it to you. But this is like the official paper for Paris, what they ask you. So you need a copy of oh, one thing that I forgot to mention is every single paperwork that you're going to do online, that's either the DS 260 or even the first time you applied, every single thing you do on that website, every single email you get, just print everything, keep it with you. That's one big thing. So the first thing is the letter that proves that you have the appointment at the embassy, which makes sense. The second is an expired passport valid for 6 months beyond your intended date of entry of the United States. Then you need 2 color photographs of each applying. So each person applying, so like I said, if you go with your wife and 4 kids, then each person is gonna need all of this pretty much. So for the pictures, if you're like 6 people, then you're gonna need 12 pictures, like 2 pictures of each person. Then you need the confirmation page from the DS 260. When you have to get the DS 260 that I tell you to fill in right away as soon as you can, they're going to give you a confirmation that you did. You have to bring that paper with you to the embassy. You need so your original birth certificate, English translations, and a copy. I'm going to give you more information about that right after I finish telling you what I brought. But this is pretty much the basic list that basic things that you need to bring. Actually, somewhere they ask you, I don't remember where it is exactly, that you have at least 2 years of education past high school diploma or something like this. So what I did was I brought my diplomas, and since I had to have my birth certificate translated into English, I got everything translated. So you have to make sure that it's a legit place and it's something actually legit and that is approved by the government. So like for France, you have, I'm not going to give you the words because you probably don't know it, but it has to be a specific word with like once they translate, they put a stamp on it and it proves that it's recognized by the government that it's a legit translation company, something like this. So I translated, I have my high school diploma, my tourism diploma, I got even the police record translated, and then I had the birth certificate. So I made sure that I had all of this in French, in English, and a copy of each of them. Then I added that I brought a proof that I had money, which basically it's what they call here, they call it affidavit of support, that prove that you have a sponsor in the US or that you have enough money. I did not need to bring this at all, but we never know. So what I did was I had my mom had like a saving account for me from when I was born that she was putting money on it. I just printed out how much I had on it literally 1 or 2 months before the interview at the embassy, and I brought that paper proving that I had money. So if, for example, I wasn't able to find a job right away in the US, then that I will be able to have money to kind of support myself if I really was struggling. So that's pretty much what I did. And then because I was an au pair and I went to that embassy before to get the visa, I added all my au pair's paper that had absolutely nothing to do with it. You did not really need that at all, like at all, but I brought it just in case. And this is the kind of thing that you'd rather be prepared and have way too many paperwork than you need. So I brought all that, and like I said, I also brought my French little health book that had the proof. Instead of, I had the copy of the pages where all my shots were there, vaccines and all this, but I took the entire book with me just in case. Then for the last part is the actual interview at the embassy. So you go in with all the list with the papers that I gave you. You just go in there. They're going to check you first. You can't go in the embassy with anything. Like the only thing you can have is your paperwork and a watch. You can't have your phone, you can't have anything. So I'm lucky I went with my dad. So my dad sat in like a bar and just was drinking coffee while I was there. He had everything, my purse, my phone, everything. That's why we found a place that was nearby the embassy. So I left him there. I was like, I'm walking like 2 minutes to get to the embassy, and then when I left I just went back there. He was still waiting for me, so that made it easier. So when you go inside the embassy, you're gonna have to pay at some point $330. I went and got my money changed into dollars, so I wouldn't have to worry once I get in the embassy. So once I got into the embassy, I went straight to pay, so that was out of the way. Then there was a really long line to give all the paperwork, so I just waited, gave all the paperwork. They only asked for just a tiny bit of paperwork compared to everything I took, but they asked for the basic papers that I gave you now, not the ones that I added. And then after that, they just tell you to go have a seat and you have to wait. I waited about 40 minutes, 45. I'm not even sure. I didn't have any watch or anything. And then they make you go to that little to another window, and then you have a guy that talks to you in English. He tells you He asks you like to raise your right hand and to swear that everything you're telling is the truth, blah blah blah. He asked me literally 3 questions. Like I think he asked me what I plan on doing, and I said that I was gonna try to get a job in a hotel because I have a degree in tourism. Then he just types on this little computer, stamped my paper, give me the paper, and said, you're approved, you'll get your passport back in 5 days. And then that was it. I got out. Like that was so freaking easy, and I realized that I was stressing out for absolutely nothing. The embassy interview was actually fast and super efficient. Once I got out of the embassy, I went back to my town back in the south of France. I received my passport literally 3 days later with like a little like temporary visa that tells you pretty much that allows you to go in the country without the actual green card yet. They also give you a file that you cannot open. Once again, this will be for the custom when you enter the US territory. And after that, once you get that paper, you also have another $100 to pay. I'm going to be honest with you, with everything that we paid, I was not shy of $100. I'm like, you know what, just I'm almost done, I'm almost moved. I'll just pay the 100. But yeah, you just get your passport back with that I-555 visa, which is going to serve as your temporary green card to enter the country. And also if you want to find a job and all this, it's going to be the temporary paper that you use until you actually get your green card. So I moved to the US about 5 months after my interview at the embassy, because once you get the temporary visa on your passport, sorry, I can't find my words, you actually have 6 months to get there. So since I had my interview in January 17th, I had until July 17th, which I did not want to do that. So I left in June 7th. I took every single paper that I had at the embassy with me, plus that packet that they sent me and the temporary visa on my passport. And then that's it. I just went to the customs as a normal person. They just asked me 1 or 2 questions. They asked for my paper, my big like file that I was not allowed to open, and then that's it. I gave it to them, and I received my green card maybe 2 months, not even 2 months, probably 3 weeks actually, because it wasn't even 2 months, I know. So I was able to find a job before even getting the green card. I was able to get a place and all this, and then I received a green card, and then I still have that temporary visa on my passport, but I just use my green card. That means I am allowed to live in the US, work, and have like a normal life, except that I am not a citizen and I'm not American. Alright, so I guess that's it for this video. I hope I didn't forget anything. I hope I said everything that I had to say, because this was a really long video, but it needed a lot of things. I had a lot of things to say, needed a lot of clarification on stuff that I was personally confused. I'm lucky I had a friend at that time that was helping me, because we were going through the process at the exact same time, so thank God she was there. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, if you guys want the documents that I have with the list for Paris, I don't know how it is for the other embassies, but this is what it is for Paris. If you have questions, leave a comment. Send me a DM on Instagram. My Instagram is @charlene.brune. I'll be so happy to help you out. So if you guys are new to this channel, please subscribe. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!